What's up, guys? Heretic You here. Today we are doing a product review. Now, I just came back from Dice Tower West, um, and I met the people at Eat the Meeples Gaming. Eat the Meeples Gaming. They're a company that, from what I could tell, they specialize in these dice towers. Um, and this one really stood out to me. They've got a bunch of different dice towers, bunch of different sizes. I was like, I need something that will go with my Blood Bowl pitch, and so I stumbled upon this bad boy, and I was like, I must have it. Now, as you can see, it is a really detailed sculpt. Even underneath, you have these decorative little carve outs. It really looks like, she was carved out of the surrounding mountain, which is good. I think it'll go with any basic Blood Bowl pitch. But for me, it's going to be for my all female Dark Elf team. But I think, yeah, this would work for Amazons. This would work for any Elven team. Really, really good, high quality as far as aesthetically. Now, here's the bad part, is the dice rolling part. So I'm going to use these just generic dice, and you're going to see what I mean. So they go in here, and they launch right out. They just pop right out, which is kind of what you don't want the dice to be doing. And the problem is the angle of the fingers are not high enough to actually catch the dice. So these things are going to be spilling right onto your pitch or table surface or whatever. So you just got to be mindful of that if you get this one. It rolls pretty high, though, gotta say. So aesthetically, I give this thing, an A plus, but it is an F as far as design. I'm sorry. I gotta keep it real. Like I find myself when I roll the dice, I gotta oh, that's another issue with this design, is because there's these sharp angles. You're gonna get cocked dice like that. I've seen them get caught in their hands this way, and it's like, okay, well, how do you play that? So, unfortunately, I should have rolled the dice. The stand that I bought it from, they had sample dice for you to use, so you could test out each dice roller, which was really cool. But when I saw this, I was like, no, this is the one. So I didn't test it out. So unfortunately, if I would have, I might have passed on this. But I think I'm just gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. But that's my official score for this particular product. I think they need to redesign the hands. Now what we're going to do is we're going to paint, we're going to primer this bad boy black, and then just do a bunch of gray highlights and make it look like it's carved out of stone. So I'll see you guys on the other side, and we'll take a look at the finished product.
2,000 years later.
All right, here we are in the primer stage. So I just hit it with some cheap black primer. Primer that we're talking 99 cents at Home Depot, maybe $1 at Home Depot. It's kind of runny, so you do still see a little white underneath, but it should be fine. The reason why we want to paint it black is because we're gonna work from dark to lighter, using really cheap paints, so that way you don't have to use your expensive GW stuff. This stuff you can pick up at your local craft store. We're just going to use black and white, mix them together, and in different, starting with more black and a little bit of white to make that dark gray, and then we're going to slowly build up on the edges for just white, and it should look pretty good. It should look like carved stone. This technique is really easy, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to get this done. This, again, is like a cheap brush I picked up at Home Depot for about $1, and this I just found for maybe a couple bucks. this is going to be the detail, and we're going to slap most of this with just some dry brush with this, and then pick out the details with this. All right, so we'll see you again on the other side. All right, guys, here's the final result. Again, just using a quick dry brush technique. I did add a little gold and some blue to give it some color, but other than that, I was just dry brushing various shades of gray. Let's do the final dice roll. And there you go. That's the dice tower from Eat the Meeples Studios. Pretty happy with the way it looks, and I think it'll be great on the Blood Bowl table. I will see you on the next one.